Hey, you must have me a lot talking about the story I'm watching, the story with zombies, and I decided to make a video of an introduction, how the story came to start, my dear, and I'm wearing this hat, security, security, and I, the idea came when I was watching The Walking Dead with my brother. I watched the first four or five seasons all at once, sit, relax and watch. He didn't have Netflix, you must think of Netflix, but he had another thing like Netflix, and they had The Walking Dead, the five seasons, and we were watching The Walking Dead, and I got inspired from that series. When you watch a series, even with zombies or anything around surviving, you might think, oh no, I won't do it like that, I will do it differently. And you live with the characters. My favorite character, by the way, is Daryl. I really like him. And I also like the first season. The guy with Will House, the old man, he was really nice. I was really sad when he died. And I was thinking that in my story there will be a group of people like the one in The Walking Dead who have a society of their own. They have a shelter of their own. By the way, the name of my story is Shelter, and they would have this place located on city. They have occupied a big hospital. This hospital not only will be the neighborhood hospital, it will be a major hospital, a really big building, a tall building, with helicopter pads, uh, and a research center. Like, of course, I was playing Resident Evil 2, so the inspiration also had to do with the game too. Had a lot of sources for my story, a lot of inspirations, but mainly was the first was from The Walking Dead, and then I got my main character. See her name. I didn't have a name for her, but she will be lead this community. Uh, she had the need to occupy the hospital because she's sick. She has not in the story, in my first idea, in the story I'm writing. She's fine, but in my first idea of her, she was sick. She had cancer, so she was needed to get therapy in order to stay alive. And she was a very strong woman, very dynamic woman, and maybe for not by herself but with the help of others who care for her, took over the hospital, empty the dead, don't open dead inside. That wasn't from the hospital, right? Don't dead, open inside. And this place will be heavily guarded. It's like a military base slash hospital. No one can really mess with these people because they need them. They make research for the virus. They can treat people there, and she has something, that strength she had, even if she is sick, that will to fight for her life at first, uh, was her strength, was what made helped her get that place, create that place, not just for herself but for others who live with her. And there was a point in her life that a lot of these people, she lost them. She actually is close to another person, I didn't have a specific role for him or her, but she's really close. Could be a relative, could be a friend. No, she doesn't have any lover or husband or something like that, or no kids too. She's in her 40s, but she's single. She also wears black all the time, like me. It's not a character based off me, by the way. It's not a happy coincidence that I'm close to 40, single, and wear black all the time. No, but the character is not based off me. I don't know. Actually, her was a kind inspired from, I don't remember that Dana, her name, the woman in The Walking Dead, who she works with the dead, with the zombies. And she does that, the character in my first short story. She's used to the dead, they won't touch her because she's sick, and she's walking amongst them, and that's something that brings fear to anyone who is not with her. They fear her, they think she's strange because she's too familiar with the dead. She has to do that because she's looking for that person she's close. She, there's nothing more in the world that she needs more than finding this person. But because it's too long that she searches, she has lost all traces of humanity in her. She just wanders with the dead and goes to the hospital to get treated, to make sure that others still afraid of her and won't touch the hospital, the people who work there, the people who live here, there. And I will close by saying her name. I kept the name for my main character. I kept the hospital, but it's not the main building. They have a hospital in their community in my story. So the name, I didn't have a name at first, as I said, but I had a scene in my head where this woman speaks to a friend, and I heard the name, and in the beginning it was the name of the friend, but because I was hearing that name quite often last summer, I decided to get that for my leading character. Her name is Anna, and after a while I found out that it's also the name of my great grandmother, not my grandmother, great grandmother. Her name was Anna. And I was also listening the name quite often in the summer because I was watching a lot of YouTube videos, the Sims Let's Play, and a lot of them have that name. Maybe it's easy name, but I like it, and it had I found a different meaning in my character later for that name. It really suits her. I'm trying to remember if I forget anything about that story in the first story. Um, well, no, not right now. Yeah, yeah. I wanted to say, I wanted to describe to you how people who were living in that hospital were seeing that place. Because, yeah, it was a stronghold, really strong shelter. The zombies couldn't get inside. They really had no danger with the zombies. They had the medicine. They had found a way to grow their own food. They had everything they need because others would bring in exchange for their health services. But they had this fear, the same fear that most people have when they are in a hospital. that feeling that you're weak and that your life depends on someone else, and that creeping fear that not only that person may fail, but you may lose your strength. You're losing your strength, you feel weak, you feel dependent, and that place, although it was strong, for the people that were visiting were a place they were feeling weak, they're feeling that they're losing themselves, and because the world outside was too unfriendly, imagine like there was no place to go back. Because in real life you have a home, you have visitors from outside reminding you that this is not the end, you have a home to come back to, you have a life. In that world there is no life, there is only death outside. So imagine how pressure these people must felt having the death all around them, like a ticking clock, ticking bomb about to burst. And the idea for the hospital, I'm sorry, hospital was strong enough to help me uh, unveil and grow this world, which is very depressing. It has a lot of pain and it needs to draw strength from something. I mean, how you find strength not only to survive, to live, and to build something in a world so depressing, so full of death. Yeah, and trust me, I have found something that works in my story, and this small fraction of life, this small fraction of hope is like a glowing light, a glowing, a small ray of light in a very dark room. The one you see when you're sitting alone in a very silent, very dark room that can see through the cracks of your shades. Like I'm in a room like that, but I also have a window wide open. But I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Find this small ray of light and let her come into your silent black house. I will give you more hope, even if myself I'm looking for it. I'm looking for a way to be happy as well, because I live in this place. When I write, I live in this world. I suffer with my characters, I feel them, and I'm looking with them for that someone as my character, for that something that will give me strength, not just survive, but create. I don't want to give you any promises I cannot keep, but I can tell you that it may worth waiting. I think yeah, it is worth waiting. I will try to make more videos and talk about what I had in mind before I actually, or even give you something from the actual story. Salter, take care and let the light, the sign.